Welcome back, everybody, to our So Spiritual daily show for empaths and energetically sensitives. My name is Bryndis, and I'm a professional energy healer and trainer. Other energy healers come to us to learn the art of energy work. Today, I want to talk to you about clearing. What does it mean to clear my energy and how to? So this is the subject here for today. The energy gauge or the stress gauge for us as energetically sensitives today is relatively relaxed compared to the last 2 days. So things are easing a bit. I hope that those of you who felt a little sick in the last couple of days or felt the onset of headaches or whatever, that this is starting to be a little better now. And, perhaps really enjoying yourself a bit more, with the sensuality that is coming in here, the smells and the colors and the beauty of this time, this holiday time that we collectively are experiencing. Also, the end of the year brings in something that makes us sort of ponder, that makes us contemplate a bit. And I don't know about you guys, but this whole entire year of 2018 was a big purge. It was all about letting go of what no longer serves me, releasing what I no longer need, getting rid of false friends, of items, of things that have no meaning to me or that do not really make me move forward. And let's check here how long our delay is. This is live, as you know, and I want to be here for your comments and questions. And when it comes to clearing our energy, this is really, really important that you get sort of the idea behind it. Okay, so we're going to go into the depths of this. But here I need to do a little bit of a live check. Send me some hearts. Send me your likes, and I can tell how far away we are from another here when I ask you questions. Who is there? Yes, and thank you for sending your gratitude. Sandy, thanks. I'm reading your comment here that you really enjoyed the live show. Thank you so much. You guys can help me by sharing those videos, as I've pointed out before. The social media mechanics are so that, I can't really do anything from my end. You have to share, retweet, like, and so forth, what I'm producing here to help me spread this. So 2018 was a year of clearing, really. Okay, so purging, releasing, letting go. Those are all terms that come with clearing. Okay, and some of us have this idea that clearing has to be sort of a big process, that it has to be an event that is, sort of dramatic. I would like to bring in a little sort of ease here in this and help you understand that clearing really is a process that needs to go on a daily basis. So when it comes to our physical clearing, right, we all understand that we have to brush our teeth, that we have to take a shower and so forth, just because of the residue of life, of our metabolism, of, just being. And when it comes to our energy, the unseen aspects of our being, we're often not really that clear that, or we're not aware that this is no different from cleaning our house or cleaning our body or cleaning, like the place that we are, inhabiting. And so let me put this sort of in the foreground here for you. And I want to send out the question to you guys. What are things that you have found out help you to clear yourself? And clearing in the sense of letting go, in the sense of releasing in the sense of, we're going to go into the deeper mechanics, but I would love to hear from you guys, since we're live here, what you have found out that really, really helps you to clear your energy. So as I am talking, we have roughly like a 30-second delay here. Please share with all the audience here what works for you. Yes, meditation and nurturing nature. Wonderful. That is probably, of course, one of those techniques here that we will talk about more often within the soul spiritual journey here, because nature has a very powerful alignment to beauty and joy and abundance. And so when we go out into nature, we will find that it's a lot easier for us to let go, no matter what it is, whether it's our thoughts or our emotions, even physical pain. So nature is one of those super natural divine clearing agents. Okay, and what most people don't know is that certain plants have actually extra clearing properties. So for those of you who feel this calling to go into nature and to work with nature's properties, you can really tune into some of the plants around you. If you are lucky enough like me to live in a place where there is a sort of plants blooming and green all year round, then you probably understand why I'm living here now. But if you're lucky enough to have that, then really spend some time with this. It doesn't even have to be in a meditative state. It's really just contemplating and connecting with plants, and you will find that some plants are more willing to help you with clearing. The proverbial tree hugging, guys, is not a myth. Is not a myth. To hug a tree, especially to lean against a tree, or to hold your head towards it, to touch it, really helps to clear your energy. There's basically a karmic agreement for trees, to provide this grounding effect for us. They have this beautiful connection with both, the heart of Gaia, the really through their roots, going deep into the ground, and the cosmic energies through the branches and through the leaves. And so trees, not only as clearing agents, but also as sort of role models for us, reminders, how to really stand in this life, rooted but flexible at the same time, and being receiving, through our crown and through our branches, our arms, So yes, this is a really good one, Denise, nurturing nature, because it can help us to remember, the nurturing that is within ourselves, just through being in its presence. Jumping. Yes, jumping is a good one. Jumping helps really to shake things out, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit here, how we can use our body, and how the energy flow in our body has to do with energies, sort of being absorbed or getting stuck in us. Yes, Hannibal, looking at the stars in a clear night really helps to put things into perspective. That's a wonderful tip for others, that especially if you, for one, if you're suffering from insomnia at night, which a lot of empaths do, especially around full moon times, especially around these energetic, intense times such as the solstices and when global events are happening, it helps to really sort of tune into the humility of our being, and that there is so much more out there, that there is this beyond, out there that we just sort of allow to go through us. So it helps with mental and emotional overload to put things into perspective. Thanks for this tip. Yes, sleeping well at night. Okay, so those of you who have issues with sleeping or insomnia, for you guys, it's very important to understand that a good night's sleep is a very potent clearing modality, okay? There are different stages to your sleep, as you know, and some of that has to do with the brain frequencies, beta, alpha, theta, delta and gamma, and these different states, guys, they can also be emulated. So there is a myth out that when you meditate, that you can sort of make up for some of the deep sleep, and that is actually true. So a deep theta meditation, okay, meaning that you are aligning yourselves to music that has a theta metronome, can actually be just as refreshing as 3-4 hours of sleep. So there's a bridge here between sleeping, which is a natural way of releasing energies. It's a natural way of our body to absorb nutrients and to release the residues of its metabolism. It's a natural way for our brain to recycle all these thoughts and visuals, everything that we've perceived with our 5 senses throughout the day. And it's also a natural way to clear our entire energy body, because we're going into relaxation, we're letting go of control. Okay, so sleeping would be one of those primary clearing techniques that you can use. But too much sleeping is not good either, and we're going to go into this here a little bit, because we don't really want to avoid reality, okay? We just want to give our body this really deep state of relaxation. And so meditation and mindfulness can be a good bridge there. A lot of times I'm like I'm notorically sleep deprived, just because, there's so much I want to do. There's so much I want to share, so much, I want to get out. And sleep sometimes feels like inefficient to me. So I have to constantly work on this, to not see sleep as something bad and as something that helps me to clear my energy. But the reason why I'm still good at this is because I have a very rigid meditation, or not rigid, but a very regular meditation routine. And obviously, I'm doing, 5 to 8 energy sessions every day. That, of course, helps me to go into the state. So as a trained empath, you can go into this state at will, within, literally a few seconds. I can go into this brain frequency, that we normally only enter when we go into deep sleep, and 10 minutes of realigning myself to that state can make up for lost sleep for me. But this requires a lot of training, guys. This is like decades of training, but it is possible. Yes, thank you guys for your hearts. It's so wonderful to have you here. So we've already established that spending time in nature can help us to release or to clear energies, and sleeping does, or meditating for that matter, as a smaller or more efficient version of sleeping. It can also be added, and here within transCODES we help people to do this as a daily routine. Okay, so 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. It really doesn't take more than that, guys. Can already help you to clear. And why is this? We talked a little bit about this in episode 2. That is because you are centering your energy when you meditate, when you go into this sort of self-reflective and sort of contemplative state, okay? And as you center, your energy consolidates, and it naturally throws out the things that are no longer needed. But what about, things that we can do besides, sleeping and walking in nature that can help us to not accumulate too much or store too much excessive energies in the first place. Yes, there are some more suggestions here. Structured water, yes, so hydration levels play a huge role in energy work, in physical health, in emotional health, in mental health, honey. Guys, I can't even stress this more. You know, it's just like with your nutrition. If you're not drinking enough water, you don't really, I mean, it sounds kind of weird, but it doesn't really matter what you eat, because the water is the transportation agent in your body. It keeps, you know, your blood flow in sort of a fluid state. And if your blood flow is too slow, you know, then nutrients cannot arrive fast enough, or toxins cannot be expelled fast enough. And the exact same thing actually happens with our energy flow. So we will have an episode covering, actually we're going to have several episodes covering energy centers and chakras and the purpose of them, and the meaning of these energetic sensations that we can feel in our energy centers. But here I would like to really make you guys aware of that your energy flow comes from below. So we're getting energy in from below, from the planet, and from, you know, the universe, from the cosmos, from above. But the primary energy here in this 3D dimension, okay, comes in through the ground. So it comes in through your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh chakra. This is the general flow. And then, you know, these energy centers that you have regulate the energies. They are responsible for, they have tasks, you know, just like our organs and our glands. And you can imagine that if, you know, the piping, you know, or if, you know, the speed of that flow is kind of slow, or if it is blocked, or if there are attachments there that divert your energy into other directions, that your energy won't really feel that vibrant, you know, and you won't really feel that energetic. And so clearing, a regular clearing routine that entails your awareness of your energy flow is really important here, especially for the energetically sensitive. Because if you have the issue of, you know, like being too sensitive to outer energies, for instance, in conjunction with other people, or in conjunction with places, you know, then there are a lot of things that you can do to ease, you know, your physical symptoms or your emotional symptoms in that moment. But you have to understand how energy flows through you and how it attaches to you. Okay, so coming back to the water and the analogy here with your energy flow and the piping is that, you know, it flows in through the ground, up through all your energies, connects with the universe, obviously, and flows back. So there's a circulation happening. And when this goes too slow, again, you know, then you're more likely to absorb things, and you are also more likely to develop weak spots in your energy system. And this is just like our plumbing in our house, you know, when there's clogs there, you know, that's a weak spot in the plumbing. And sometimes it's because there's too much stuff in there. Sometimes it's because the pipe is too small. You know, there's many different ways to approach this. But what's important to understand is that your body has natural valves. It has natural exits, okay? And we talked about this in our very first episode here, you know, and you have to know where these are. And some of the main exits that we have the physical exits, obviously, you know. Then we have our fifth chakra. We covered that in the first episode, you know, that allows us to express things, to bring things from the outside into from the inside into the outside. We have hands, you know, and we have legs. All our extremities are natural exits. There are way more. There's the armpits, there's the inside of our hands, there is exits here in our solar plexus, in our heart. You know, there are many different exits that our body has to release excessive energies or to release blocks, okay? But the main thing is, even if you don't understand any of these things, is that you need to be aware of that. So if you are feeling things are caving you in or coming in, or you, say you're talking to somebody and you feel really sort of constricted and you can start feeling things in your body, all right? The first thing to do is to pay attention how this makes you feel. Does this make me feel, empowered, expansive? Does this make me want to express, want to, be radiant? Or does this make me feel contract? Do I want to run away? Do I want to hide? Or do I want to attack? Okay, so the latter would be, a situation where energy is actually affecting you in a negative way. And that's when you need to know how to clear those energies. Okay, now you may not know where these energies are coming from, or who they're coming from, or whether it's the place that you're in, or whether it's collective energies at the moment, or whether it's something that you're going through. This doesn't matter, guys. All right, the moment you feel this in you, the moment you have to deal with this, the moment it affects your energy, is the moment when you have to step up, is the moment when you have to do something about this. And this cannot happen if you refuse, or if you're hesitant to feel to begin with. Okay, you can only heal what you can feel. So you've got to allow yourself to feel into how something makes you feel. I know what this sounds like, but it's really that simple. How does this make me feel right now? And you can ask yourself, even if you don't know anything about energy work, is there anything right now that I can do, to make myself feel better, or to release this, or to shift the situation, or to shift my energy? That's the active self-clearing here, okay? Instead of getting all wrapped up in who caused this, and blaming it onto another, and lashing out in anger, and, going into anxiety, and all these things. No, you do what we have been suggesting here in every episode, basically. Yes, Sandy, you go first of all into your own center, and that is your heart. Your heart chakra, your heart center is, basically the symmetrical midpoint, the 0 point of your energy flow. This is where everything triangulates around. Okay, so you're gonna have to find that, just focusing on your heart, and you can do this through breathing. Okay, heart breathing is something that most healers, energy workers, therapists will suggest, because when you focus on your breath, that naturally sort of goes into your center, then you are beginning to feel yourself better. And also, focusing on the actual breathing itself. I mean, yoga is an entire sort of way of living that has basically developed out of the necessity to regularly maintain and clear our energies, right? But as you are focusing on your breath, you also allowing your mind to unwind, and you're bringing your body into a more relaxed state. Your nervous system, calms down. You're activating your vagus nerve. That's your parasympathetical nervous system that helps you through some endocrine, neurotransmitter releases to further connect, to further consolidate. All right, and so as a result of you consciously choosing to centering yourself, there's already stuff that will fall off from you just by doing that. Okay, the second step is to really pay attention to what it makes you feel like. Does this make me feel angry? Does this make me feel sad? Does this make me feel superior? Does this make me feel special? Does this make me feel scared? Okay, those are things that you need to allow yourself, or emotions that you need to allow yourself to feel. You need to sit in your emotions for a moment to even be able to discern what is going on, and then you can start thinking about how to get rid of them. All right, and I do want to stress another thing here, and that is that clearing is not necessarily just getting rid of things. Clearing can also just be releasing excess energies. So I don't know about you guys, but when you feel exalted about something, right, and you just like bursting from energy, and you just want to do something, your energy can be too intense. It can be, too overwhelming for others. So even positive things, need to be released at times. So positive energies or negative energies, that really is just in the eye of the beholder, because quite frankly, from an energy work standpoint, it doesn't matter if it's a positive or negative emotion. If it's excessive, if it can dominate or consume you, it makes you susceptible to outer energies latching on or messing with you. Okay, so what's really important for you to understand is that the regular release of energies is, for an empath and an energetically sensitive, a must. Okay, because this prevents sort of these extreme situations where you feel completely overwhelmed by your energetic sensations. It also prevents, of course, recurring patterns, and that is something that most of you probably can relate to in regards to your relationships, because there is this unseen interaction between people. Most of us are not yet aware of it, so that too requires training. But how do you train? You train by observing, by witnessing, okay? And witnessing means to experience and observe at the same time, so that you can come up with a response. And a response has a higher vibratory quality to it than a reaction, okay? Every time we are acting on what consumes us, what overwhelms us, what triggers our deepest inner fears, or what sort of dominates our energy in a certain moment, is a reaction. And reactions lead to patterns, and patterns lead to dysfunctionalities. They lead to problems in relationships, in your job, they lead to problems with money, they lead to problems, all these issues that you have, not knowing, what you're doing wrong, could be, I don't want to say resolved, but, at least you can gain more insights about the mechanics of that. So you have to allow energies to unravel. Don't be afraid of energies, external energies coming in. From my experience as an energy healer, 95% of people lack the ability to discern whether energies are coming in from the outside or whether those are their own energies that they're dealing with entirely. Okay, this is an inner sense that we all have, but this also has to do with our ego perception. So if you are not sure where energies are coming from that are affecting you, then don't worry, it's not your fault. You've never been trained to do this, okay? In the future, this will be different, and this is a big part of my mission here, guys. In the future, we will teach our children these things from when they're little. Okay, I have 3 children. I've taught my children how to do this. They don't experience these things such as anxiety and depression and so forth. Not that they don't feel sad or reflective or, frightened at times, but they know how to handle it energetically. And this is why clearing, not only the regular clearing, but especially the kind of clearing that is needed when you feel overwhelmed and consumed by things, all right? Why this is so important, because it allows you to stay within yourself. Most of you who have troubles with not knowing who you are, with not knowing what your purpose is because you're not staying in your center. And the reason why you're not standing in your center is because you don't know how to clear your energies, you don't know how to connect with your energies, and you don't know how to translate that. Okay, so this is part of my mission here, with So Spiritual, that to simplify this and make this accessible for you so that you can feel reminded of your inner knowing. I'm not telling you new things, you know this. I'm just reminding you of your innate ability, to self-heal and, to evolve, into the best you can be. Yes, and so when it comes to self-clearing, the maintenance aspect of self-clearing, obviously, throwing out things we don't need, and having enough sleep, drinking enough water, you know, going into nature, spending time with animals is the same as hugging a tree. Also, you know, really tuning into beauty and joy. You know, there's so many beautiful things in this world, not just the night sky, which is, you know, phenomenal, but also, you know, just looking at a flower or looking at some of these beautiful creations that are all around us can help you to clear your sense of lack and scarcity. Okay. Then, you know, there's this whole range of tools, clearing agents that we can use. And I don't have the time to go into the specifics. I train this, you know, I train people what these different tools are, but I can show you some of the things that you've probably heard about already. So first of all, I've mentioned this. I'm wearing a few things here that you can see. Those are symbols of clearing for me. Okay, I use tourmaline as a crystal here for etheric protection. And I use this crystal here to protect my expression, also to bring in, you know, sort of more flow here in my 5th chakra. And I use this chakra sword here to remind me, you know, that I have the power to regulate my energy. But there are things that you can use here. You saw this. This is a sage stick. It's burned down a bit because when we did the winter solstice transmission here at transCODES, this was a heavy one. You know, I had to like really smoke myself, and so smoke can help. So what you do is you turn it on, you know, you blow on it so that it smokes, and then, you know, you can use a feather, or you can use things, you know, to spread it. Don't mind the smell. So sage has a very specific smell. Not everybody likes that, but it is an extremely potent clearing agent. Other things that you can do to prevent outer energies from latching on. This is something here I carry in my purse. This is lavender oil. This is pure concentrated lavender oil on some of these exits. Okay, some of these exits that you have can prevent things from blocking you to release. There are other essential oils. There are other crystals. There are other clearing agents that you can tune into. There's tons of material on about this on the internet. Personally, you know, I recommend you to, you know, maybe study teas a little bit. There's a power in teas and herbs, you know, not just in the drinking them, but also in the essence of them that can help you to clear things and to connect with. And crystals, you know, if you feel drawn to crystals, you know, they can do a lot for you. All right, and so can sound, so can light, so can all these different ways how energies are being represented here in this world. Okay, the only thing you really need is the willingness to really pay attention to them. And then after you've learned how to clear yourself a little better, you know, then you will begin to feel more what your own restrictions are. And then you may feel, you know, that some of your ego is unraveling, that you will discover things in you that you cannot love about yourselves. And so your journey, you know, goes into the next level. And that's when you allow your ego to unravel, because there you'll find things such as shadows, such as inner child, unresolved inner child stuff, trauma and abuse and addiction, that really, you know, make your energy body is susceptible to absorbing things. So they are permanent weak spots in your energy, regardless of how much you clear. And that's why just clearing isn't going to do it. So remember, clearing is not about getting rid of things, not always. And it's not about sort of just getting it off you so you don't have to deal with it. After you clear, you need to connect. And like in Native American tradition, you know, which sage obviously is an American thing, you know, there's something very, very important that I learned, and that is that after you clear yourself, or, you know, the space that you're in, you have to fill this vacuum that is being produced through the clearing up with something positive. You have to invite positive energies in, and this is why Native Americans use sweetgrass after they used sage. And for us as active self-healers, it means we have to consciously go into connecting. And that's why meditating, you know, is such a beautiful tool, because it allows us to do both at the same time. You know, we go into centering, we go into connecting with ourselves, and as we do this, we clear our energy, and maybe there are things that come forward that allow us to gain a little more insights about what we need to work on, and so forth. All right, so guys, I didn't really give you a lot of time for sharing here today, but I love your guys' tips for others. Yes, many of you use crystals, essential oils. That's wonderful. I can fully subscribe to this. Yes, OCD, Sandy, has something to do with the need for control. It's the underlying energy is fear. And this is something we need to cover in a different So Spiritual episode. Some of you may know this. I have self-mastery classes at transCODES, where I teach people to consciously overcome specific things, all right, so that they're seen. So we have one come up here in 20 minutes, by the way, which is why I have to hurry now. But when it comes to like sort of the excessiveness of clearing, okay, and I've seen this a lot in people that, you know, they're so afraid that something could latch on, or something couldn't be in the right place, or, you know, that something isn't right, that they go into this this OCD clearing or ordering, and this is clearly a consumption. So you are being consumed by something, all right, and this is not conducive for your energy. So actively working with it, and the stuff that's underneath it, okay, the fear and the control, is what can help you with this. Just clearing is not going to do the job, okay? Yes, guys. Thank you so much. I want to do a quick shout out. Starting on January 3rd, we're going to do the So Spiritual Challenge, okay? That's a total makeover, and we are looking for 4 more volunteers who want to go onto this journey with us. 10 days, 30 minutes a day, learning how to literally transform your life on all levels. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and energetically. So if you would like to volunteer, and what this entails means that you're going to have to be willing to share with us, to make testimonials, maybe tape, you know, sort of before and after stuff and so forth, then email me at jona@transcodes.com. Okay, we have a great reward for someone who, you know, that represents this change. Namely, we give away a 1-month Heart Warrior program, which is really intense personal energy coaching and energy training for a whole entire month. Yeah, so email me. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, or Monday if you are in Australia. Enjoy these last days here of this year 2018. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.